join us for the national anthem.
And welcome to Kingston Stadium. I would first like to begin this event like our teachers begin class, by taking attendance. And since you all are excited for this academic year, we're going to do it with some enthusiasm. As I call out your group, I want you to stand and cheer as loud as you can to show your excitement. Let's begin with our teachers. Go ahead and stand and cheer. There you go. How about our bus drivers? Yeah, all right. Where are our custodians and maintenance staffers? Let's hear it from our paraprofessionals. How about our food and nutrition workers? What about our daycare and early learning folks? Let's hear it from our administrators and administrative assistants. And last but not least, let's hear it for our Board of Education. Well, I'm glad to hear that you all are excited to begin this school year, because so am I. My name is Connor Wolf, and this year I will be a senior at Jefferson High School. Yeah. For me, this is the end to a long journey of opportunities. Opportunities like performing in the school musical at Coolidge, being elected into student leadership at Taft, serving as a drum major for Jefferson's Band of Blue, and emceeing a staff rally for the Cedar Rapids Community School District. These experiences are what have shaped me into who I am today. And as I begin my 13th and last year of schooling in Cedar Rapids, I cannot stop thinking about those who will begin their first. Tomorrow, a new group of young students will flood our elementary schools. And I know that these kindergarteners have so much in store for them because of people like you. People like our custodial and maintenance staff who will work day and night to make sure these students learn in a clean and functional environment. People like our coaches and directors who will guide these students in an activity they love. People like our teachers who take money out of their own pockets to pay for students who have low incomes in their families. People like our food and nutrition workers who prepare meals that feed hundreds of our students. And people like our bus drivers who wake up early in the morning to transport our eager and sometimes not so eager students to school. As you can see, the list goes on and on. That is because we believe that no matter your salary or position, you are all working together towards a cause. And that cause is educating today's generation for tomorrow. This is a key part of our district's mission for excellence for all, and is intended to be true for our students as well as all members of our school district community. Our district's mission statement goes on to further define this work, to develop 21st century learners and productive, responsible citizens. But to keep our mission of excellence for all going, a task force of dedicated community members created a theory of action. This was designed to refresh the district on what we believe in and how we are going to accomplish it, without abandoning our current work. The theory includes 6 parts: equity, innovation, student learning, culture and climate, student ownership, and leadership. Using this outline, we can better promise this incoming class of kindergarteners that they have a bright future ahead of them. Today we have gathered you to hear from students who come from different schools and different backgrounds, all of which have given them opportunities they never will forget. Each student will present a portion of the theory of action and explain why it is an essential part of their education. We had hoped to have the new video screen available for today that would have displayed their fabulous photos and names, but the installation was delayed, so I guess you're just stuck with me. As John Quincy Adams once said, if your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. Here in the Cedar Rapids Community School District, we believe leadership is collaborative action that empowers stakeholders to promote improvement. This is something our next speaker knows something a little about. Please welcome from the Kenwood Leadership Academy, Mauricio Barrios.
We believe leadership is a collaborative action that empowers stakeholders to promote improvement. Leadership is an amazing part of my school, and so is it through jobs and sports. I am a good leader because of the choices I make. A lot of people could be good leaders, but they choose not to make good choices. And I have good ideas, like all kids. But some kids don't want to be leaders, and so they choose not to make good choices. Good leaders teach other kids how to be leaders by setting an example. I have experience of being a leader because I consistently make good choices and be nice to students and respect all teachers and substitutes and treat other people how you want to be treated. Don't bully. Bullying is mean. Leaders can't be bullies because they have to show a good example. Don't be mad when you're wrong because everybody makes mistakes because we're humans. Some people be nice, but not always. But when you're nice a lot, that's good. So they can be nice and teach other kids how to be leaders. Being a leader is good for everyone. It helps kids and the teachers. Mr. Brandon is a good leader because he can make all kids and teachers good leaders. All classroom teachers are good leaders because they help a lot of students individually and in groups. Leaders are good in all places because they can help the people they work with.
Let's give it up one more time for Mauricio. Our next speaker is one who doesn't shy away from opportunity. During his time at Washington High School, Patrick Gorman has been a captain of the cross-country and track teams, a section leader for the drum line, the student body president, a member of Interact, and many more. Today he will be discussing the importance of student ownership, because we believe students are empowered to take ownership when they engage as partners in their learning. So please help me in welcoming Patrick Gorman from Washington High School.
For those of you who don't know me, my name is PJ Gorman, and I'm an incoming senior at Washington High School. I'm starting my 4th and final year in the Cedar Rapids Community School District. 4 years ago, I transferred to Wash from a very small school in the country, just northeast of Cedar Rapids. I've been in that school district ever since I began my schooling, and deciding to leave was one of the hardest decisions I've ever had to make. It wasn't easy for me to leave the friends I had grown up with, the places I had made memories in, and the people I know my entire life. I left the greatest friends I had in the world in search of higher education and expanding goals. I made the tough decision, not the easy one, to take ownership of my education. Since then, I have loved these past years in the district and been involved in a multitude of sports, extracurricular activities, and fine arts. As I near my 17th year of life, I am faced with a very similar decision as when I left my hometown 4 years ago. However, this time, I will not be alone. Next summer, an entire generation of young men and women will leave behind their homes in search of higher education. They have taken charge of their own education and will be on their way to achieving great things. As for myself, it is a dream of mine to attend the Naval Academy in Annapolis. The nomination and application process is long and strenuous. However, if I exert myself now and take initiative, my dream will be that much closer to becoming reality. Not only is education the backbone of our society, but as we will all come to find, is the foundation of our lives moving onward. Our education is how we choose our college, our classes, and our careers. Our very lives depend on us making a conscious effort to further ourselves and own up to the fact that only we control our future. For a few moments in our lives, we have the opportunity to make decisions that will resonate beyond our lives and possibly beyond. To take ownership of education is to ensure that we leave as many doors open as possible. It is up to us to make the right decision for our futures, not the easy ones. We must do what is necessary to ensure we have the education of our youth, the career of our future, and a security in old age. To Washington, I can think of no better way to honor our former leader than to do what we've always done. To continue to excel in education, AP testing, and to keep our tradition as one of the nation's greatest schools alive. Working with our new faculty and administration will ensure that the next generation of WASH students has the same opportunities that I received and will give them a chance to own their educations. Stay the course in these next few uncertain years and own your education because no one else can. Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick. Here in the Cedar Rapids Community School District, we believe all students deserve high-quality instruction which provides academic, social, and emotional learning to prepare for a successful future. This concept will be presented by someone who I know strives in the classroom, along with being the senior class president, involved in speech and debate, and specializes in sarcasm. From Kennedy High School, please welcome Afnan Al-Sheikh.
Before I was born, my parents made a life-altering decision to move from Saudi Arabia to the United States. They left everything and everyone they had known for the sole reason of seeking the best education possible for their children. I always complained to them and asked why, if they had the entire world at their fingertips, would they choose Cedar Rapids in the middle of a cornfield to settle? The reason being is that my parents understood early on that education is not just representative of what we find in textbooks or curriculums. Education takes place when the student becomes conscious of his or her social and emotional health. School is more than just a grade book and benchmarks met on an assessment. School is where the leaders of tomorrow are created. More now than ever, our schools are the place where students are exposed to and trained in the skills they will need to survive in the 21st century. Colleges are raising their standards for both admission and graduation, and employers are not only looking for people to clock in 9 to 5 and do their job, they're looking for the best and brightest workers whom will bring innovation to their workplace so that they can compete with other businesses from around the world. And in this ever-changing world, we find at its heart our schools. A school is a place where you learn how to work with others to accomplish a common goal, how to use the latest technology, how to not just study, but to appreciate the material given, to meet deadlines and demonstrate that we are ready to take the reins and lead this world into a new century. A school is where you laugh, you cry, you celebrate success, and sometimes where you console others in times of hardship. But more than anything, it is where you learn that no matter what, you are not alone. And it all starts with the people that sit right in front of me today, our teachers and staff members. You are the heart of our schools. Tomorrow, we will walk into school sleepy-eyed and grumpy that the summer has come to an end. But no matter how much we complain that 10 in the morning is too early to be learning, know that deep down we appreciate the time and effort you have spent preparing for our arrival. We appreciate that you have been reading books and articles on the newest tech trends so that you can implement these in your classrooms. And we also appreciate that when we are sad, when we are coping with a loss on the football field or a loss in the family, there are teachers that we can talk to. We appreciate that when we take the game-winning shot or the bow after a flawless performance, there are faculty members in the audience cheering us on. And in 278 days, when my class walks across the stage and receives our diplomas, know that we are ready to step into the world and face the challenges that it holds. And that we are ready because of the lessons we received from the Cedar Rapids Community School District. Thank you.
Thank you, Afnan. As we look towards the future, some may argue that innovation is the key to education. In our district, we believe innovative educational experiences foster creativity, promote personalized learning, and connect students' passions to their world. At Metro High School, this idea has become reality. Our next speaker has helped with the creation of products like rain barrels and Lion Bridge silverware holders, but also has done graphic design and marketing for survival bracelets and seed bombs. Please join me in welcoming from Metro High School, Kyun Goodson.
Innovation is around the world. Every minute there are new ideas, new inventions, and new experiences. But with that comes new challenges. One of the biggest challenges that face our generation is actually letting our kids be innovative. Across the world, we see so many kids packed into classrooms with just books, writing about their ideas instead of putting them to action. In my school, we have a STEAM program that stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, Arts, and Mathematics. In those classes, we learn about many different subjects by using project-based learning. Project-based learning is one of the best ways to help us by allowing us to think outside of the box. And instead of reading about innovation, we become innovative. An example is our weather balloon project, which last school year we launched into the atmosphere to collect statistics and information. Another is our candy bar project, where we work in the classroom to make, package, and sell, while learning about marketing business firsthand. We all have the power to be innovative. Some people just discover it in different ways, whether it be project-based learning or in the typical classroom. Now, why is innovation important? Simple. We use innovation every day, and without it, we have nothing that we think of as an everyday necessity. Toothpaste, running water, and even Netflix. The list goes on and on. Without inspiring teachers like you, we wouldn't have innovative, intelligent kids. And without that, we would have nothing. So when you go into your classrooms this year, think about how much innovation is truly inside of us and help us become the best that we can be and make the world a better place. Thanks.
Thank you, Kyun. Now, our next speaker isn't necessarily a student enrolled in the Cedar Rapids Community School District, but is someone who often describes himself as a constant learner. As a graduate of the Jefferson class of 1967, that can't be right, he's not that old. Class of 1968, he easily understands the history and traditions of this community. His experience comes from directing the Iowa Department of Education, but also teaching in a classroom. I look forward to nominating him as my vice presidential candidate when I run for president in 2048. You can check out our website at wolfbuck2048.com. But with all jokes aside, I'm not just proud to be a Cedar Rapids student because of our dedicated teachers or principals. I'm proud because we have someone leading our district with care and compassion. So with that, please join me in welcoming our superintendent, Dr. Bradley Buck.
All I can think is, if Mike Pence can, I can. That's not fair. Good morning and again, welcome. It's my privilege today to talk about where I find myself in the culture, climate, peace of the district theory of action. As Connor has noted, the task force in defining culture and climate talked about all school members being valued and thriving in a safe, diverse, engaging, respectful, growth-oriented learning environment. In thinking about culture and climate, and as I reflect on my first year or so of my time as superintendent here in Cedar Rapids, some of the first words that come to mind are exciting, diverse, innovative, and vibrant. In digging a bit deeper, other words in my experience also come to mind. The Taj Mahal, the district, and fractured. Regarding the Taj Mahal, as many of you know, I'm a product of our district, 1987, and my parents and my sisters and their families live here. Before coming to Cedar Rapids as a superintendent, I had only ever heard the ELSC referred to as the Taj Mahal. I half-jokingly say that's what I thought it was called, until I moved in and learned it's actually the Educational Leadership and Sports Center. True story. One of my first days on the job, I was at a community event and a gentleman walked up to me and said, "I bet you don't know what they call that building you work in. It's the Taj Mahal." I simply smiled and thanked him. Beyond the Taj Mahal, I frequently hear the phrase, "the district." And the general lead-in is, "You're never going to believe what the district is having us do now." Or maybe a finer point. Someone says, "What's wrong?" And the answer, often with a gentle eye roll, is simply, "the district." I say all that to be transparent and say this. What I see is a culture of climate that is fractured, and at the center of that fracturing is trust. Specifically, when I think of trust, I think of phrases like, "always operates with integrity, assumes positive intent and seeks to understand before judging, speaks truth with openness, and actions match our words." Like many of you, I share a worldview that relationships matter, that trust is central piece to healthy relationships. And when there isn't trust, there is fracture. Ultimately, that is reflected in the culture and climate of the organization. To be clear, I frequently observe healthy, trust-based relationships in and around our schools and buildings. Some are found in content or grade level teams, or around a puzzle in the gathering room for our bus drivers, and still others are in kitchens across the district. You may also have experiences at the school level, as many of our schools have a positive culture and climate, as exemplified through many of the elements that the task force identified. It's also worth noting that there are many portions of the ELSC itself, this may surprise, in which staff members experience a positive culture and climate. Additionally, many of the people in this stadium have somewhat to generally positive relationships with members of the ELSC and with the central office in general. That said, we certainly have more work to do in order to have all of our school members experience the pronounced positive descriptors that are contained in the theory of action. We will need your help to make that happen. We know organizations that have a robust culture and climate don't experience that by accident. In those organizations, there's intentional work that occurs to foster and support a healthy environment. In addition, there are measures in place that support identification of where there's need for improvement, as well as where progress is being made. My desire, and that of many others, is to make progress towards an even healthier culture and climate. We're going to be organizing a group to dive into this conversation so we can better understand where things are currently and what could be done to continue to make improvement. If you'd like to serve on a group engaged in this work, please keep an eye out for the invitation that will occur in the coming days. That is some of the big picture work that needs to happen. As an individual, I'm recommitting to communication with staff, much like I did last year. I'm also working to make sure that there's time in each of my weeks to be in schools and in classrooms. There's one other statement I'd like to make, and I wasn't quite sure where it fits in my comments, so here it is. We likely all recognize that as an organization, we have warts and they need addressed. What is also true is that we have much to celebrate. Many of you have heard me say this, and it remains true. Every day when I put on my lanyard and badge, I am proud to be a member of our school district. And I especially appreciate when I'm in the community and people point to my lanyard and ask where I work. When they do, it provides me with a chance to tell them one or more great stories about what is happening in our schools. Sometimes they wish they hadn't done it. In the coming days, you will be asked to engage in an activity around finding yourself in our theory of action. As you think about the pieces of the theory of action, I'm hopeful that this piece of the puzzle in particular is one that resonates with everyone. Each of us has a story to tell. Speaking our truths and listening respectfully and earnestly is an important part of this work going forward. You are hearing individual truths spoken even this morning as students provide examples of finding themselves in this theory of action. My intention is that this finishes where it began, the words identified by the task force, being valued and thriving in a safe, diverse, engaging, respectful, growth-oriented learning environment resonates with us all. I also believe that we have the ability to create an even brighter future of our choosing. In so doing, we will move ever closer to delivering on the promise of excellence for all.
Let's give it up one more time for Dr. Buck. As we work towards the district's mission of excellence for all, the concept of equity seems to come front and center. And with the reality of discrimination and economic inequality, that goal may seem out of reach. But here in the Cedar Rapids Community School District, we aren't going to let that stop us. We believe that equity of voices, resources, opportunities, and expectations is critical for the current and future success of every student. But here to tell us more is someone who comes from a background different from most. She enjoys reading, show choir, archery, and playing the violin. Please welcome from Roosevelt Middle School, Celeste Panduro.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk to you guys about equity as part of the theory of action. People all around the world know the golden rule. Treat others as you want to be treated. Not everyone is the same, but we can all be treated the same. The importance of equity is very crucial when it comes to others because we want to make them feel well and welcomed. When I came from Honduras, as young as 7 years old, I didn't recognize the importance of equity like I do now. I come from a poor country where parents have to find a way to pay for all the services that the schools can offer if they want a quality education for their children. Where parents have to send their kids off to work instead of school because they can't pay for a place to live. The fact that the education in the USA is obligatory for kids is what makes this country great. The schools in many Latin countries, they don't offer the things that the schools offer here. There are no meals for breakfast or lunch, no special education teachers or magnet schools. Some kids even have to walk long distances if they want to learn, but that means they can't eat until late at night. Not even the best private schools in my country can give the quality of education that is given in the public schools of Iowa. The staff at the schools are amazing. In our district, we have ELL programs, counselors, tutors, transportations, libraries inside schools, field trips, book fairs. These could be a dream for kids in other countries. You guys don't realize the impact. Okay. Thank you, Connor. You guys don't realize the impact that you guys make in the lives of families in need. I know because once my family was in need. I'm thankful for each and every opportunity that I've received from the Cedar Rapids Community School District. I know I am very young, but at this point in my life, I can understand and see the world from a different perspective. For every child to have the same opportunities is a priority in our district. Equity is a concept relating to something, whether it's two people or two objects that are the same with one difference. The difference could be if they're a boy, if they're a girl, black, white, rich, poor, born in this country, not born in this country, so on and so forth. But what the Cedar Rapids Community School District sees in between all those differences is a student. A student that deserves as many existing opportunities as possible. Some people don't realize what they have until they lose it. Seeing the world from a different angle can change the way you act to others and the way others act to you. And I feel like it's been a blessing coming from a place where equity and education is not a priority, because here I've come to realize that it is. As soon as I started Roosevelt, it was all get involved. All the show choir and the orchestra and the band. It was all so overwhelming because I had never had so many wonderful things to do before. In our district, we learn things that other countries cannot. We have wellness, engineering, tech, art, computer science, classes that other kids in other countries can't even imagine. And it's the same for everyone. No matter what race, color, or economic status you come from, everyone has the same opportunities. Here, every single kid has a bright future if they put their mind to it. There's nothing stopping them. Here, we are all taught to achieve our goals and to face our differences head on. The Cedar Rapids Community School District doesn't separate us into groups and make some learn more than others just because one is rich and one is poor. You can't have two of the same objects and say one has more value than the other, because the two are equally the same. Just like in our district. Every person has the same value, and everyone is worthy of a strong and solid education. Thank you very much.
"13 years ago, I stepped foot into Miss Rooney's kindergarten class, not knowing the opportunities that would be available to me. Little did I know that I would be able to travel to Hawaii with the band, plan my senior prom, or lobby state legislators for more school funding. But these outstanding experiences wouldn't have been made possible without the staff of the Cedar Rapids Community School District. Because when you all joined this district, you knew that your job was more than a paycheck. You knew that your job was impacting lives. And impacting lives is not what you do, but who you are. And now with the theory of action, you can continue to impact lives for years to come. Before I end, I would like to thank the Theory of Action Committee and those who organized and donated to the food bank this morning. And on behalf of every student in the Cedar Rapids Community School District, I would like to thank you all for dedicating your lives to ours. Let's go have a great school year. Go ahead and go back to school.